Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And in this one we have KAYLE Jungle. A one-trick on EU West, also technically one trick, but also plays Cassidy and other things. Usually plays lane KAYLE, but lately has started playing a lot of jungle KAYLE in order to climb the ranks of Dreams, to get back to Challenger where this player has existed for a while. Currently this is a Grandmaster game, but Challenger level player. How can we play and carry a game when our teammates are walnuts? When we just want to be level 18 at 24 minutes because we can. And that's what this video is about. How to hyperscale and carry all the donkeys around you no matter whose swamp you're in. Don't know what that means, but we'll run with it. Runes, let's slap those on the screen right now. As I remind you, first 300 who sign up for the bootcamp will get a special jungle package coming next week, February 21st, the bootcamp to the Saturday. First day is free, mind you, so you can obviously hold off. Check it out on Monday where I'll do my main lecture. And if you enjoy, you can stick around for the week. That'll be next week, but for now, KAYLE Jungle, getting a leash, starting with E, obviously. And we're going to talk a little bit about items. Obviously, we're basically just a melee, squishy minion at this stage, so we have to be very careful with it. And we're going to talk about buying items that you use to sort of farm and scale, but then you can also sort of use to farm and scale to get gold enough to get your core items, but you sell it, right? You sell it, much like the KAYLE build. So here we see the Jarvan take this and run down, and now we see physically that he's done that, but most of the time in high elo, when you see this, you instigate your vertical jungling. And when you are a scaling jungler like a KAYLE, obviously you don't have the range here, you don't have the ability to just tank junglers, tank camps, tank junglers literally, and fight it out. So you have to use good pathing to avoid them at all costs. Now, Jarvan, usually the strategy in this situation, if you're not seen, you would take this, cut mid, and you can control this. The KAYLE, unfortunately, thankfully, saw the Jarvan, knows you can go blue to red, and you can still gank this. You can throw your E out, you have your Q, it's very, very easy to get a kill on this when they disrespect it. Look at this. This is the benefit of off-meta jungling, and this is why I like it, even with Zyra. He showed here, hello sir, 8 CS, so we know what you're doing. Even with Zyra, if they invade you thinking you're just an easy matchup, so you just do a little bit of vertical jungling, the laners disrespect you, slap yourself in there, use that great angle that you get from counter jungling to abuse a badly positioned lane, you know? He didn't use his flash because there was no point. He was already pre-chunked, and obviously with KAYLE's E, just for those of you who don't know, does 8% missing HP. That scales with AP, so he was missing HP. He was gonna die in this particular situation. Now, obviously we saw the J4 bot lane wasting a lot of time. He just now has taken his blue buff. We see that KAYLE doesn't know that. We leave this ward here because if he decided to do red and sort of maybe try and do blue or something else and then collapse on this, we'd see this as we go to the top lane gank. But for now, use their invade against them, avoid them, because when you're in a losing matchup in a 1v1, avoid, right? Always avoid. Oh God, what are you doing, my son? This is disrespectful once more. And here we go. Who says you can't gank? Here we go. E's ready. Buff. 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 It's so slow, but it can work, and that's the most important thing. And that's what I kind of want to drive home here. No matter what jungler you're playing, no matter what off-meta nonsense you are trying, a lane that's pushing with low HP is always gankable and always something you can easily abuse. Now, the fact that he's died twice with flash up, this is a bit silly. I do feel there's maybe worth an attempt to kind of not die, but hey, he's the CEO of Volibear, he does what he wants, who knows. Great start here, we read the Jarvan 4 very nicely. Normally you would just look to go down again. Here we go, blue buff, walking through the sword. This is just, I'm pausing this because this is deplorable. This is deplorable. Don't do this. This, no, not okay. Look, he cuts down, look at this. What is this? What is this? What is this pathing, sir? Season 4, Mata and Dandy in the Samsung World Finals and throughout that entire season changed the way we jungle path. And one of it was their complete discipline at avoiding known and common wards. So if you're tracking throughout the game and you see a laner go down, most likely they're warded, which means if they go down this way, you can assume they probably slapped it in here, especially in lower elos. Just, my friends, just hug around the edges and you avoid detection. He would not be detected, but he is. So, very bad pathing. Does it look like Syndra noticed it? Who knows, who cares, because the KAYLE sees it, you know, and if you see that as a jungler, that's information for us, now we can cut off. Lazy pathing, I'm not happy about that. Anyway, despite the top lane fistings that we've given, Urgot goes all in. And now because we have, here it is, you would have noticed if you're paying attention, Tiamat Gaming. You're not going to keep this. You're simply using it, right? Because you're just a melee minion at this point to farm faster, to get your cash monies faster, to get your core itemization faster. You are not looking to keep that and buy Titanic Hydra, although I have seen some KAYLEs do this. This player obviously is not in that mood whatsoever. Okay, so Jarvan decides, let me flank all the way around and do that again. 28 CS, which means basically 6 camps plus a crab. The KAYLE is at 28 CS as well and has 2 kills. So over-aggressive jungling against an off-meta jungler, not something you always want to drive home because a good jungler will just abuse you, and I love it. I love it. I use control ward tech to sort of avoid it. So here we were going up to farm, but we see that mid is quite low. A little bit of a late rotation to hold. The Syndra kind of just wants to get the level 6 spike here, and we can hold this wave as well. Could have headed directly there, probably. Should have, but you know what? That's fine. Wave will be neutral. We can go on back, and now we can do Wolves, Grump into the Crab. Although at this point, you don't really know 100% where the Jarvan's going to be focusing, because his pathing has shown us to be a little bit strange. So what we can do here is simply go straight to it. If you are concerned he's going to show up. Actually, you know what? I'm going to just take that all back. I do this as well, even in the Sejuani video. If you see it's up, just go take it and get out, and then you can circle back. But for sequencing purposes, if you know he's not there, don't do it immediately, right? If you know he's down on the bottom side, you can simply do this and then take the crab, no stress. Maybe better just to frame it like that. Fall back into our jungle. Let's slap this blue down. Hit them thighs. Very, very nice. And this is all you're looking to do, guys. This is all you're looking to do. You will have to give up most likely the first dragon. Very good kiting and knowledge of champion damage limitation. As well, you should always... No, it was... But that's sad when bad things happen to good sentences. You should always have good knowledge of your champion such that you can kite it like this. Now, of course, we have Corki moving down, trying to steal our Raptor. So at this point, we can assume there may be some vision, or he's just having a look. But for some reason, he just respects the fact that he has a mid laner. This isn't smite roaming Syndra, Corki. Syndra's in the lane. You have to respect her existence. So here, if we swap the toggle, let's have a look. No vision, just going to have a bit of a snacky look. Obviously, we take the dragon there as the red team, and now we go all in. Okay, so the Jarvan's really struggling to get things going where the KAYLE isn't. Smite quest completed. He has Coldfield's Warhammer. I don't know, man. Not... Really over Iron Spike Whip? I don't know. Boy's gonna go high because I'm questioning a few things here. Regardless, it doesn't matter. You have to play what you're against, right? And if you're silver, bronze, gold, what other ranks are there? Platinum, Diamante, you're gonna face these junglers all the time. Are you punishing them thusly? Are you punishing them righteously? And if you're an off-meta jungler who scales supremely well, are you just playing safe and abusing their bad pathing, which is exactly what you should do. Now, we have Twitch on the bottom side. Excuse me, let me swap that. He goes invisible. We flash to try and she flashed to try and hit it, but doesn't really matter. Noble attempt. Twitch goes camo with a Yumi. I don't know, is there anything more diseased than that? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. We'll take the plates. Blue was up. You can always look for blue, but I think in general, if there's a dive potential here, the Janna dying is funny. If there's a dive potential here, you can always go for it. Okay, we're waiting. He's camo. We're keeping our eyes open for everything. We do have ult available as well. We're just basically infusing ourselves. There we go. That's what that ward is for. Now we can disengage. He does have ult. He's forced to walk away. We did use our flash, so we do have to be very careful there. Respect it, get some plates, push the wave, and now reset. We have 1672 and counting. Please, Syndra. His pathing's so jigsaw. Good run by the Janna to counter it. Very, very nice tornado into Glacial. He dunks him anyway. Syndra doesn't have flash, and he's gonna die. When you play like this with a Janna and he thinks he's getting better of you the whole time and he's just obviously not playing well, you can very, very easily force him into those mistakes, which is what the video on the main channel was about yesterday. Here, if we're going to go up, then obviously Wolves into Grump is the play. Working on our Nash's Tooth, should be going Riftmaker as well as a spicy Rylai's actually for the slows. And it's very, very cheap as well. So being able to just keep your range with everyone when you're later on in the game is supremely useful. But I do, as Zyra, I did like the previous version of Rylai's just because of the HP, the HP and the AP. But you know what? Cheap items, kind of useful. Wolves, Grump, He's dead, so we can do the crab. You see, sequencing. Both. He's dead, no threat, we take now. And now we can go to the Rift Herald. You see the pings coming through because, again, this Jarvan has shown himself to be a little bit confusing. He shows here with no blue. Like, he dies mid lane like that. So, this is good for you guys in low elo, no? This is very good for you guys in low elo because sometimes junglers just do random things. And at this point, you know... Alright, here we go. We have a fight here. Level 9 to level 8 Corki, man. He has the dildo, so that will help him a little bit here. We are level 6, so we got a bit more range now. Oh, man. Shredded. Absolutely shredded. I love Tiamat as an item. You sell it later on, obviously, but right now it's so good. Absolutely shredded. Primed the lane that she wanted to use the Herald on early in the game. Used the Jarvan against her. Bot lane dies anyway. Can she survive? Yes, she does. Okay, we'll take it. So here now, the thing about getting level 18 so soon in the game, as I mentioned in the introduction, is you have to be a little bit selfish. This is the way. You need to take waves, push waves, hold waves, farm very, very well. And in this case, there has not been any sort of insane counter jungling, you know? It's just a case of wave proximity, shall we say, while still farming your own camps and securing an objective. And I love the fact, as Jarvan shows up from the mid lane, coming from the bottom side, here we go with his blue buff, so obviously he took that afterwards, which gives us all the information we need for further tracking. Fiora's going a little bit too far. Corki's rotating up, she's looking for a heal, and an ultimate, which we give, and now the Jarvan is going to get absolutely shredded. Urgot goes the wrong direction, completely cross-eyed, kite back, waiting for it. I'm looking, I don't know the cooldowns innately, so I'm just kind of keeping my eyes on it. We can keep our distance pretty easily though. Look at the spacing though, keeping the spacing, avoiding the Urgot's disease. Janna rotates around the back, now we can use it, both dead. There you go. For those who are wondering, it's 5 points max E. I mean, I always put it there so you guys can watch, because, you know, the muscle memory of skills that comes from one tricking is something that you learn through many, many games. And when you're covering champions that you don't really play to that degree, you got to look at the cooldowns. But most of you always ask, what are their max? And it's always in the bottom left. It's always in the bottom left. Buff. Very nice. So we still have this. Make note of when she sells it. Here we have a fight in the mid lane. Okay. You can always look to rotate if you feel comfortable, yeah? Always look to rotate. But we're 4-0-1, 5 out of 7 KP. We don't have a dragon, but we have a 4K gold lead, and we got the Herald. If you're a scaling jungler, that's the dream, baby. That's the dream. And apart from a level 1 invade, nothing bad really happened whatsoever. Alrighty. Now, dragon is available. If you are very concerned about closing the game out, then you can maybe go for it. But if you are very happy with your scaling, there's no real need to force it, I think, at this point, because you can always, if you're in a good position, you can stack 4. But there's not as much focus on dragons in the current meta as it has been in previous seasons and in previous years, no doubt. All right, Nashor's Tooth completed. One of my favorite items. I used to run Conqueror's Nashor's Tooth Zyra for some trolling when they released it, but it's fun. It's not good, but I could split push. Obviously, with that reset and getting a full itemization completion, plus the Zerka's Reef, plus the Dark Seals, plus our Leeching Leer, you're not really in a position to defend this, but that's fine. That's fine. Absolutely, as I said, not really concerned about that. We're concerned about level 11, level 16. That's just what we want as KAYLE. We're getting there. So the red taking first is for defense. You could look to shadow this, because you could expect here that a Jarvan after the dragon might try something. So the Fiora is playing accordingly, as you can see. I'm staring at the map, I'm looking. KAYLE's looking 100%, we're seeing what's going to happen afterwards. See the pings coming through? Okay, there he is. Visual confirmation, and now everyone can relax. So if you feel something's going to happen in the mid game, where you're going to be collapsed upon, where you need to shadow as a jungler, just play it safe until you get visual confirm somewhere, and now you can relax and make the right play afterwards, which is always what we want, isn't it? All right. KAYLE. This is Fiora. Fiora's pushing the tower. Well, we're used to that. W for faster rotations. Corki, see, even that was much better pathing. Much better pathing. Corki is floating. There we go. We hit the Scry's Bloom. We see. We clear. Thank you very much. 11 is so close. you really don't want to use 11 just yet. You don't really want to fight just yet until you get to 11. Does that cooldown is what? 160 to 120. Oof. That is crazy. So ideally, we don't want to have to force it. So we're trying to get, there we go. Good. Now we can fight. Okay, level 11, next generation passive, ascended even more. Cooldown reduction than the ultimate. Now we can force a fight. So this is very, very good. Nice stun by the Syndra there. A little bit of tower tankings. Jarvan goes over the wall. We're going to have to use it here. At this point, we do a flash as we need. Doesn't really matter. The dude dunked his own self, basically. She flashed, but he dunked himself. This Jarvan makes me cry. It's like watching, I don't know what it's like watching. If there's a continued fight here, always assess, can I go back and win your full HP, full mana, 100% you're level 11 KAYLE, way ahead of anyone else in the game. Of course we can go in. Syndra tries to hit the blind E, doesn't really matter. Keep zoning the tower, watch the minion waves. Of course, Urgot is pushing the bottom side here, so nothing on the top side, no heralds, no farm. Crash, easily, free kill for you. You're not really losing anything. Again, W to speed on up for the fast rotations. Is Fiora gonna do it? Suspense, suspense. Riposte. She does it. Good on her. And this is still fine. Like, the idea here is we rotate, we make sure we do it. And honestly, because the Krugs are spawning, the intent is great. If he lives, we get a kill. Otherwise, you can fall back to your Krugs. And because we sequenced them in a religious way, we know that the Raptors are coming up as well. And then you, of course, assess, can I go back to base and buy a crucial item? Nice deep control ward there. Yeah, you can just wait for this now. I mean, obviously, the sequencing gets tighter, you know, because you farm so quickly at this stage. Especially with Nash's Tooth plus level 11 plus Tiamat. Yeah. Let your top laner have some. I don't feel as connected to the crab anymore. I hope you guys are the same. That's a lie. I died for crab the other day. I just wanted it, you know what I mean? I just felt like I wanted it. Corky just propels himself away, says, nope. I don't want none of that. Like the Jordan Peele movie that was trailered at the Super Bowl. Nope. And he just yeeted out. Second Herald, we can take this once more. Yeah, this is good rotation. I was going to say, we should probably rotate to this if we are the most fed member. Don't cut through and die, though. Too many times, a lot of players will just cut through directly and die. Use good angles of approach so we can hold the tower. A bot lane isn't having the most successful game, I feel. It's a little bit unfortunate. But this is good. Because as I said, whole point here is an early level 18 and to carry the game ourselves. So, no camps, no real objectives to walk to, not sure where the enemy team is. You need to have discipline here, because we're 5-0-1. So I'm worried a little bit about this. The pings are coming through big time. Here's Jarvan, good Scry's Bloom. That's why you buy Scry's Bloom when you're in the top lane scenario of split pushing. Where's our Dragon Lady? Here we go. This is it, guys. Discipline. Okay, so the face-checking ADC, I think we're all used to that. We don't have ult now. We do have Janna ult, though. Twitch gives us the spray. He's disconnected from the rest of his team. Gets exhausted as he ults, but doesn't really matter because the KAYLE will chase down. The Yuumi is now hostless, like the virus she is, and we can destroy it. Very good. So, the ADC face checks, which we don't want to do. The KAYLE says, don't worry, I protect, which she did. And she actually lived. There you go. 2 assists for the ADC. Finally playing the game. From this, kill conversion ratio. There you go. Kills into objectives. I kind of combined it all. Dragon is up next. So make sure you are not putting yourself in a position to give this one up. Because in a more soul dominant game, where everyone kind of scales, you want to make sure that you don't give freebies. Like, you don't have to make the decision between Ocean Soul on a Soraka or a Yuumi and a Baron, you know what I mean? Okay, so they finally do kill him, but again, all made by the KAYLE. 801, lot more to go here. We are just about spiking. Cash monies at 3,300, red buff and Krugs are available. You could look to do all of this and then reset, but as I frequently talk about, I'm okay with that. We have to live once in a while. Anyway, so if you do this and then reset, the rest of the team's going to be on the map before you, and now you're lagging and they die in the throw. So if you have crucial itemization and a big chunk of cash, we sold the Tiamat. Here we go. We have Riftmaker. We have the Nash's Tooth. We have our Berserker's Greaves, obviously, and we're going to build into the Rylai's now. Good luck moving, anybody, because you'll be dead. And before you're dead, you're slowed, but you'll also be dead. Hold the mid wave. Again, experience in the waves. Big thing for most of you. A lot of times in coaching recently, there's been advantages to be gained on a scaling jungler like a KAYLE off-meta jungler where the clearing is now no longer an issue. That you don't hit towers and you don't take waves when there's no one around. Now, I'm not saying run into a level 4 wave and just auto push it and steal it all, you know, don't do that. But I mean, more so in these situations where everyone's dead, you can just hold it and then farm your camps. No need to really waste a smite here because we want to keep it up just in case a fight develops, or maybe you can take a Baron and the Jarvan's still up, you know. Always have smite available for objectives. If you do not, you do not. All right, there we go. W used to catch up. Hello, sir. Can you miss some more HP so I can E you, please? Yes, yes, here we go. The fact that we had to ult that is slightly concerning, no? Corky. Nah, but let's nerf Mundo. Now, Corky is one of those frustrating champions for me. I'm biased because I just really don't like the scaling and the damage he brings out. I mean, I know he can be objectively fine and I still won't like him, that kind of relationship, but either way, we played it very nicely. Okay, Twitch with a Yuumi, here we go. CDR on this now. 6.4. Yeah, it's also something I don't really talk about. Oh, wait. I wanted to talk a little bit about it more, but we're busy assassinating everybody. This is something that people don't often talk about. You know, I'm just looking at the cooldowns here. We're down at 6.4 now, but the magic resistant armor removal is pretty huge, actually. Something that I probably should have mentioned a little bit before. But anything that shreds on any sort of champion is extremely viable when you think about squishy comps, when you think about your percentage buys in terms of Void and Shadow Flame and so on. But in this situation, what do we have? A little bit of these Hex Drinkers, right? It doesn't really affect you as much as it would, say, another champion, because you do shred a percentage amount. Just worth knowing and understanding, right? Okay. Anyway, so Urgot is, what is he, 250. He's got the Hellbreaker. I don't see this enough. TP from the Syndra. We hit the stun, so that's a dead dude. 16, come on, 16. Baron's available, we can go snack that. I mean, this is just absolute control. Swooping from side to side. Just swooping from side to side. Cleaning people up. No one can fight you. And because we have the Rylai's as well, no one can run away from you. No one can get to you. KAYLE level 16 is like one of those, I don't know. I guess it's closest to saying like, any Kindred mains, like a 20 mark game, you know? You get a 20 mark Kindred game. You're having so much fun. And you win the game, you're super happy, you queue up again, you go Kindred, level 1, 0 marks, and it just, I don't know, that feeling, right? That from 20, level 18, full bull Kindred down to level 1, it's like, oh, okay. It's almost like you fell down a bunch of levels, you gotta climb back up. Same thing with KAYLE, but it's worth the dopamine of reaching those high points, if that makes sense. You know, these games where you get like level 18 super early and just absolutely turbo stomp everyone is worth the rough early games in a lot of the situations that you find yourself in. Especially from the jungle perspective. Right, anyway. We have a dragon respawning. Well, I guess respawning is the word. You will go back to base in a bush, and now we have TP fully committed. We do have Urgot splitting on the top side who does not have TP, which means we want to pull the trigger. We need to go for this. As soon as they don't have numbers, pull the trigger. Even like as Zyra support, I just pull the trigger. I see 3 people in a 1-3-1 and we 5, I engage. I see 4v3, I engage. Look at this. Just watch. Look at the distance and the spacing. Okay, we kind of want to slow, but I wish we had range indicators. I want range indicators in replays so we can see like the slow radius, but we don't. Oh well. Dragon spawning, don't need to worry about it too much. Someone, okay, she's dealing with it. Jarvan is very confusing to me. Did he seriously rush the Coalfields Warhammer? Yeah, I don't. Unless you're like season 9. Kill the Yuumi. Kill the Yuumi. Please kill the Yuumi. Yes, very good. Okay, so if you enjoy this level of play, this level of disrespect, and this level of scaling, and you don't like really worrying too much about your laners, and you like infusing yourself with experience, this is the pick for you guys. Now, is it objectively good? No. Is this guy a KAYLE savant? Yes. Does he just breathe and know the cooldowns no matter what? Yes. But the core thing is, if you're struggling to get a champion that you love in the jungle, what you can do is you slap in like a Tiamat to help you clear, you slap in like the Serrated Dog for Kai'Sa to get those all 3 evolves in that build, and then you sell it and you have obviously Crown and Mana Moon and Nash's Tooth. Same kind of principle, right? Where you invest in something that helps you get a lot back later in terms of itemization and scaling, which you couldn't get otherwise. You couldn't do this without Tiamat. It really does help you a lot in terms of keeping yourself relevant in the farming game. And obviously level 16 KAYLE is just actually ridiculous. And we're not actually going to get level 18, so I lied to you. I was thinking about a different game. I lied. I apologize. I don't mean to clickbait. It's not going to be in the title. Level 17 at 26 minutes. My apologies. I was looking at another game you can always look up. I'll link the match history below. You can actually have a look to see some other examples. Doesn't always pop off like this. There is a few games where you're sort of low KP, but good farm, good pressure, still getting the heralds, and that's all you're really looking for. So it's okay to have lower kill participation than this, but you're high econ. So don't spend too much time playing like this Jarvan, who, I don't know what happened, but you know, we all have bad days. At least it didn't go 0-10-0, so yeah. There you go. Thank you very much. I'll cut that out at the end, I think, Twitch chat. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and learned something. Please do like, share, and comment if you did. Main videos are all up on the main channel because there's a lot of them recently, 3 in like less than a week. Best junglers maybe on Friday, or we'll do something else if I don't think the meta's really gonna shift enough, you know, in a way that's worth doing. So yeah, more videos on this channel this week as well. Bootcamp next week. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial.